have our constitutional expert, Mr. Sanjay Chadha, with us to discuss this issue and make sense of this. Mr. Chadha, the Supreme Court earlier too had expressed displeasure on similar delays by governors of Telangana, Punjab and Kerala. And today this matter, at least with respect to Tamil Nadu and Kerala, had reached Supreme Court. And we heard some very tough questions being posed to the governor of Tamil Nadu. So how do you see this, sir? One of the statements, one of the arguments was that governor is part of the legislature, not outside it. So how do you see the governor's role in the context of these arguments that are happening?
Vasudha, very important that Article 168 defines what are the roles of the governor. First, it very categorically mentions that yes, governor is the head of the state, but he has to act in aid and advise of the cabinet. One. As far as this particular scenario is concerned, Article 200 is very important to know. When a bill is passed by the assembly, what happens? The governor has, as we can say, three options. To me, I feel three options. People say he has four options. So, first option is either to give the assent. People say second option is to withhold, which I don't consider the constitution makers have ever given. Second is return the bill with its suggestions. What are the amendments? What should be done? Third option the governor has is to refer it to the president, saying that please look into it. Now, what is happening and what has happened in past also, and in these two cases, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, as you mentioned, that the governors are withholding them for years together. Now, what we have to see, what is the language used in Article 200? The language used in Article 200 is that governor is required to return such bill ASAP, as soon as possible. What is the interpretation of as soon as possible? I feel it is in very other judgments, Supreme Court, High Courts have an n number of time have interpreted what is as soon as possible, and meaning of this is a reasonable time.
Right.
Now, what is happening, like today, and even in the previous hearings, we have seen the Supreme Court has taken it in a very, very bad spirit.
Right.
Supreme Court has said to the governors, to the extent that you are playing with the fire. Last date it was said. Today they have said that it is nothing less than some disease.
Right.
It is rotting our democracy.
Right.
What is the right given to the citizens are not being followed.
If citizens... I get this constitutional aspect of it. Now, if you talk about the political aspect of it, we saw in the case of Puducherry, the centre did recall Ms. Kiran Bedi because situation there seemed more like a tug of war and the battle was going sort of beyond control. But we also saw in West Bengal where the existing vice president and the governor there, Mr. Dhankar, Jagdeep Dhankar, had a lot of problems with Mamata Banerjee then, and there used to be a lot of political battles between them. We saw it in Telangana, we saw in many other states. But united opposition is also making this an issue. Do you see this politically becoming a problem for the BJP and some sort of an advantage to the opposition?
Well, a thorough political analysis should be done by a politician, I think. But as a lawyer, I see, yes, it has an impact because now right, left and center Supreme Court is straight away saying under what right you are withholding the bills. Either it is as rightly said by some person, that it is a unconstitutional inaction. So it is not in power which has been given to you and you are misusing rather the power. So I think we have seen our Supreme Court giving very reluctantly, I must say, Supreme Court has given timelines also in previous cases where they have said that governor has to take action within so many days. They are reluctant in giving the timelines. But here, I feel previously they have given the timelines. Even in this scenario today, the need of the hour, in such circumstances, the right word you have used, tug of war between two governments. Right. And why the people should suffer it? Why the people who have elected the government should should suffer this.
Right.
So I am of the opinion that now there is a need, the situation has reached where Supreme Court has to mandate some guideline.
Right.
Supreme Court has to give some what you call a timeline. Time frame should be given.
Right. You're
and
saying that
time frame
guidelines
has
need
to
to come
be
from the Supreme Court on the role of governors. Well, that's an interesting point. Thank you, Mr. Chadha, for joining us. The Supreme Court on Monday has issued a notice to the centre on the Kerala government's plea against the delay by the governor to decide on 8 bills pending with him for periods ranging from 7 months to 2 years. Now, the Supreme Court has also asked some very tough questions of Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi on Monday as it resumed hearing the Tamil Nadu government's plea against delays in clearing bills passed by the State Assembly. These bills were pending since 2020. What was he doing for 3 years? This is what the top court, Supreme Court, has asked of the Tamil Nadu governor days after Mr. Ravi returned 10 pending bills, 2 of which were passed by the earlier AIDMK government. Now, the tug of war between the state governments of Tamil Nadu and Kerala and their respective governors was heard in the Supreme Court on Monday. A bench of Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice J.B. Pardiwal and Manoj Mishra heard pleas filed by the two state governments which have accused their governors of delay in giving assent to the bills passed by the assemblies. Remember, the Tamil Nadu Assembly in a special sitting on Saturday readopted the 10 bills that Governor R.N. Ravi had sent back on November 13th. The top court had sought the centre's response on the plea filed by the Tamil Nadu government and termed the alleged delay as a matter of serious concern. Similarly, the Kerala government had also moved the Supreme Court, alleging that the delay in giving assent by Governor Arif Mohammed Khan to bills was defeating the rights of the people of the state. Now, the government has claimed that the governor had delayed 8 pieces of legislation in Kerala, and Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi has withheld assent for certain bills passed by the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly. This is what happened a few months ago, leading to this tug of war. I have my colleague Sam Daniel joining us from Chennai. Sam, the Supreme Court heard the matter of both Tamil Nadu and Kerala today. Clearly, we've been hearing allegations of governors ruling by proxy, but governors have been saying that this is matter of their duty and it is their responsibility to scrutinize bills. So how do you see today's Supreme Court? Of course, the matter has been adjourned to be heard next in December. But tell us what do you think will be the political fallout of the hearing today?
Vasudha, these observations were expected, although the governor, just after the first hearing by the Supreme Court and some tough observation, chose to return all the 10 bills to the Tamil Nadu Assembly. What was seen as an attempt to project as if during the next hearing, that's today, he can always say that nothing at the moment is pending on his table. But the Tamil Nadu Assembly was immediately convened and the Assembly got all the 10 bills adopted or passed yet again, and it was immediately sent to the Raj Bhavan so that they could preempt any move by the governor to show nothing is pending with him. But the larger question, of course, is the allegation by the ruling DMK and a few other opposition rule states that the governors are being used as proxies, as you called it, to stall the development in these states and to make it a kind of an antagonistic state. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had called the governor's stance as antagonistic, undermining often the role and the powers of the elected government. In the case of Tamil Nadu, Vasudha, these bills largely attempt to clip the powers of the governor in his role as the chancellor of state universities, and they want to appoint the chief minister as the chancellor, saying that it's the state government that funds and forms many of these state universities, and it's only proper, they feel, that the chancellor should be the state's chief minister. The larger or the inner story is that the governor of late, the ruling DMK feels, appoints people who belong to his political affiliation, as they call it, and he acts as an RSS or BJP agent, they say. And to stall this, they have taken this particular move to make the chief minister as the chancellor of these universities.
Right.
But the governor in the past, during informal conversations with journalists, has claimed that he has the powers to withhold, and withholding passed bills is a courteous way of saying no. But the ruling DMK argues then it will not be able to function as an elected government. It stalls their moves, and they say rejecting bills in this case without giving any reason is also unacceptable, and that's why they feel sending it back after passing in the assembly for the second time will give no option for the governor but to pass them immediately.
Right.
So that's the larger question, and they hope that this issue will also raise the role of the central government in not intervening even after several representations by the ruling DMK. And they also hope this particular issue in the Supreme Court will also raise the issue of the role of the president of not intervening even after a clear letter written by the chief minister asking her to instruct the governor to abide by the aid and the Council of the Ministers. Lastly, Vasudha, these are harsh observations, no doubt an embarrassment to the Raj Bhavan, but this may not be an indication of the orders yet to come. That's something we'll have to make it clear for our viewers, because sometimes judges ask tough questions, make tough observations only to elicit information, but this may not be an indication of what judgment the court will ultimately give.
Right. Thank you, Sam. Please stay with us. We also have Arvind Kunasekar, who has been tracking this matter in the court today. Arvind, one of the arguments that I saw by Mr. Venugopal was also that, governors cannot forget that they are part of the legislature. Now, if you see, both Mr. Khan and Mr. Ravi have been vocal about their actions, and they've defended them, saying that, they are basically course correction, and it is also to scrutinize the bills that state governments say. Of course, the rule by proxy is the allegation that state governments have been using against these governors, and both LDF and DMK are seen as ideologically, politically, rivals, opponents of the BJP. So clearly, this is a political issue, ideological issue. It also has constitutional layers to it. Tell us, what were the most important arguments that played out in the court today?
Vasudha, both state of Tamil Nadu and also state of Kerala, both the state governments have moved Supreme Court against the respective governors over inordinate delay in clearing the bills that have been passed by the state legislature. In the case of Tamil Nadu government told the Supreme Court that almost 15 bills are pending before the governor, the Raj Bhavan, and one of the bills was passed way back in 2020, and that's where Tamil Nadu government sought the intervention of Supreme Court, giving a direction to the governor to ensure that the bills are cleared at an expedited manner. So today, when the matter was taken up for hearing, appearing on behalf of Governor, Attorney General told the Supreme Court that out of 12 bills, 10 have been returned by the governor to the state legislature, and Tamil Nadu government told the Supreme Court that of those 10 bills that have been returned by the governor, all those 10 bills have already been re-adopted by the assembly, and that have been sent to the governor for consideration. And that's why Supreme Court has given time for the governor to take appropriate steps, because the state government has re-adopted all those 10 bills and that have been sent to the governor. That keeping aside for the Tamil Nadu issue, on the issue of Kerala, the Supreme Court has issued notice to Kerala governor on the similar issue, and Supreme Court has sought the response of both state of governor of Kerala and also the Union Home Ministry by next date of hearing, which has been scheduled for November 24th, and Tamil Nadu government's petition will be heard on December 1st.
Right. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you, Sam, for joining us. We also have our constitutional expert, Mr. Sanjay Chadha, with us to discuss this issue and make sense of this.